It's very, very interesting. Very early experiments conducted in the Pavlovian era in Moscow showed us that the brain is not a static organ. The brain is continuously developing. For instance, when cats are kept in dark boxes all their lives, the visual cortex of the brain does not develop. And that teaches us that the brain develops in response to the stimuli we get. Therefore, if you are sitting down all of the time in this sluggish, stimulated only by the computer screen in front of you, static world, it is inevitable, and now has been demonstrated, that the brain becomes static and sluggish too. Now, what is just amazing is that the neuroscientists have discovered that there are minute parts of the hypothalamus at the base of the brain that are intricately regulating our daily activity levels. So, if you suppress all of that by shoving people into a chair, not only do they feel sluggish and slow and miserable, but on top of that, in addition to that, it is forcing the brain to dysfunction. The brain, just like the body, is not meant to be sitting all day long. Therefore, the results of now numerous studies become clearly understood, whereby if you take office workers, school kids, and mobilize them and get them up and moving, not only does this brain chemistry revert to normal, not only do they start moving in the way the brain programs the body to move, but people, children, the elderly feel happier too. I think the one message that's very, very important is the start to solving this is to get up, and the rest follows. I think it's very important to understand that, I think a lot of us, all of us, I'm telling you myself included, feel overwhelmed by the nudging and the urging and the sense that we have to do more to be healthy, and sometimes I think we're so overwhelmed we do nothing. It's too much. My message is very, very simple. Get up. The rest will follow. It's important to advance knowledge, and it's important to help understand why diseases occur and the problems of sedentariness and immunity and so on. But I tell you, it is something different. It's something very special when the work of a laboratory then transposes into the public domain, when things actually happen in the public domain. And yet the idea of the treadmill desk was almost a project to explain this concept. And it caught on not because it kind of looked cool. Actually, I think the treadmill desks are the new BMWs actually, but anyway, not only because it looked cool, but because what was happening is that as people tried this out, they implicitly realized that they were feeling better. They were going home at the end of the day, not exhausted, but actually energized. I mean, I've had letters, and I mean countless letters at this point. I've lost 30 pounds, I've lost 70 pounds, I feel fantastic. I walked a half marathon at work, my diabetes has gone, I'm off insulin. I've got countless letters exactly like this. And as a group of scientists, we are very, very proud that something that seems so simple has such profound effects. I think, however, what has now happened is that people realize you don't need a treadmill desk. You don't need, $1,000 worth of equipment, because if it's 2¼ hours of extra walking a day, and I convert 2 or 3 of my routine meetings to walk and talk meetings, I've done it. No equipment, no hassle, done. And that's even more powerful, because every corporation can do that, and hundreds of corporations have. And so I think what you're seeing is sort of an awakening across corporate America, and now you're seeing this, I'll tell you, in Europe, in Australia, in Canada, and in Saudi Arabia, interestingly, that there is a different way of working. And not only is that different way of working healthier and happier, but actually productivity improves. Companies make more money. And that, I think, is a critical change, because who isn't going to take it on?